Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to KPW War Zone. It is Ivy Styles calling the action right down the middle, flying solo as always, and it appears that we are kicking off tonight's action. No hesitation whatsoever with some champion versus champion action here. We are just 5 nights away from Summer Spark as the Twitch champion takes on the hardcore champion, Josue versus Kabuki. Both of these men have one hell of a challenge awaiting them in just 5 nights. Kabuki preparing to make his first defense of the hardcore championship in triple threat action against 2 men that we'll be seeing competing against one another coming up next. We're of course talking about the Pitbull K-Dog and the Rhinestone Cowboy, the Sauce. And Josue's got one hell of a challenge facing him in just 5 nights for the Twitch championship, as he plans to go one-on-one with the heartthrob Popo. A lot of suspense, a lot of mystery, a lot of intrigue heading into that bout. Nobody really knowing where the true loyalty of either of those men lies, as Parliament continues to make recruitments here in KPW. As Summer Spark continues to draw closer and closer. How much influence do they truly have in the back? Kabuki fighting out of the corner there. Step up Enziguri to the back of the neck of Josue. And speaking of the aforementioned Parliament, we'll be seeing 2 of its core members competing in tag team action later on tonight, as Chaos Control, Papyrus, Kruger challenge the First Nation, Slarty and Shuko for #1 contendership to the KPW Tag Team Championships. In case you missed it last week, history was made, that record-setting 6-month tag team championship reign ending in pure spite between Bob and Tape, as there is a new king in town. High Velocity, their first challenge, their first defense for the tag team straps awaits them in just 5 nights, and it's between Chaos Control and the First Nation. Kind of 15 here. Kabuki armed with a guitar here. Handspring splash taking down Kabuki, disarming him with a guitar. Referee Slapthigh Jones moving it out of the ring. Tiger leg scissors. And we still have so much to come here tonight. We're still expecting to hear from the Siberian Silver Bear Pando after making his shocking return last week, putting his hands on the 7'4", 525-pound man beast Chris Billy. We hope to get more words, some more background as to why Pando took that course of action after not seeing him for the better part of a month. Kabuki going up top here. Moonsault halfway across the ring. Kabuki with the early advantage, champion versus champion bout here. Irish whip reversal by the hardcore champion. Looking for a springboard moonsault from the second rope, but nobody home there. Step up Enziguri, courtesy of Kabuki. Looking for another moonsault, this time to the back of Josue. Laying completely prone there. Josue getting to one knee to sweep the legs of the hardcore champion. Both of these men looking to put this bout away as soon as possible here. Whatever energy that they expunge and push into one another is energy that they will not have in just 5 nights at Summer Spark. High octane, high stakes opening bout here tonight. Who will prove to the world that they are the more dominant champion? And speaking of champions, can't go without mentioning the world heavyweight champion Pierre Cinema, as he competes in tonight's main event non-title action, a grudge match against the role model, one half of the now former KPW tag team champions in tape. A man that believes that Pierre Cinema poisoned his tag team partner against him. Drove a rift between what was considered the most dominant tag team in KPW history. Dragon screw from Kabuki, taking down the Twitch champion Josue. Now it's Kabuki that goes up top here. It's been a wheel kick from the top, but Josue slams him down using the legs. Kabuki trapping the arms here, looking to roll him up here. Cover! And Josue pops the free shoulder up for a 2 count. It was not particularly easy to pop that shoulder up. All the leverage, all the momentum, all the pressure was on the trapped arm there. Josue was only able to just barely survive that count, as Kabuki maintains control of this bout. Forearm strike, Irish whip, recoiling him off the ropes, monkey flip into the other set of ropes. Michinoku driver, rope break, however. This could be exactly what Josue needs to shift the momentum in his favor here. Drop toe hold counter by Kabuki, however. He's not going to make this easy for Kabuki whatsoever. Irish whip reversal by Kabuki, however. Handspring back elbow into the turnbuckles. Going for that roll up pin once again here. Holding the shoulder down there, but Josue still pops it up. Josue on the top rope. Corkscrew from the top, taking down Kabuki.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Out of 12, Josue pulls Kabuki underneath the bottom rope back into the ring. The action continues. Face crusher by Kabuki. A splash from the second rope, considered one of the most dangerous ropes of them all, if not the most dangerous rope. Leg drop. Quick jab to the throat of Kabuki. Cut off that circulation, make it hard for him to breathe, make it hard for him to continue this battle here. Shotgun drop kick from the top. Josue trying to evade the grip of Kabuki as well as he can. As good as he can, Kabuki trying to maintain that advantage. Kabuki looking for that roll-up pin once again here. And Josue barely survives it once again here. Arm Dragon Screw, courtesy of the Twitch champion Josue. Rapid fire chops to the face of Kabuki. Trying to knock him out, trying to knock him senseless. A second shotgun drop kick from the top. Picking him up. Waistlock tie up here. Backdrop driver. Josue going for a moonsault to the back of Kabuki, but Kabuki rolling out of the way. Arguably rolling into a more dangerous position, but was somehow fast enough to avoid the moonsault altogether here. Josue, Hurricane Rana roll up here, and Josue has stolen this. Kabuki, the hardcore champion, maintained control throughout the bout here tonight. But all it took was one little slip up, one moment of weakness for the Twitch champion to capitalize as he rolls up Kabuki with that electric chair position Hurricane Rana to secure the victory here, showing to the challenger, the heartthrob, just how quickly he could end the match here, just how quickly the momentum could shift at Summer Spark. And oh my God, there's the heartthrob running in through the crowd here. The cameras can barely keep up with the man. Popo trying to put Josue to sleep here, trying to get an early advantage going into Summer Spark. You gotta give credit to the athleticism of Josue, but now it's his endurance being put to the test here. A Texas T from Popo. And following up with a second one. Stereo super kicks. And what the hell is this? That's the music of only one man. The ringleader, the leader of Parliament, the monarch, Oliver English, and it looks like Popo's heading up the ramp there. Oliver English flanked by Tori, that mysterious valet, that recruiter. We know that Popo's been on the prowl for months, and he's standing in between them now. He's been trying to avoid suspicion, but is he about to give in to temptation here? Does Parliament have a new member? I wonder how Popcorn Poppy has to be feeling about this. Popcorn Poppy, the mentor of Josue. He has to be absolutely furious about this development, fuming. He has no clue who the hell to trust at this point. Where does the heartthrob's loyalties lie? What does he truly want?
Main sheet. I can't but leave this. Popo, I know we ain't always seeing eye to eye. But if you really joined Parliament for a piece of ass, you the biggest snake I ever met in my life. I'm gonna hope to God that ain't true, mang. Summer Spark. This weekend. You and my boy Josue. Easy to get the drop on him after a hard fight, main. Let's see if Yo Vision is 2020. Keep it hunted in the ring. If you're gonna win that Twitch title, you do it right. And if I see Oliver English's face, his ass is getting dropped.
Strong words from Popcorn Poppy there. We were very fortunate to have a cameraman on standby there as he was watching on one of the monitors in the back. An incredible development here. An incredible shift in power going into Summer Spark here. Absolutely devastating, as now Josue is going to be on the back foot when he challenges Popo in his first defense of the Twitch Championship. He was able to defeat Kabuki, the hardcore champion, but who knows if he's going to be able to remember the fruits of that victory. But speaking of Kabuki, speaking of the hardcore championship, speaking of his challengers this Saturday night, coming up next, we'll be seeing K-Dog, the Pitbull, take on the Rhinestone Cowboy, the Sauce, in singles action. K-Dog's got quite a storied history with the hardcore champion Kabuki, the wars that they waged over the winter. Everything old is new again. As K-Dog, Kabuki, they can't just let bygones be bygones. There's one thing getting in between them once again, and it is the hardcore championship. But if they're not careful, this man could walk out of Summer Spark this Saturday night with the gold here. We're of course talking about the Sauce. Sauce has been looking for championship gold for quite some time. For well over a year, he has not tasted championship gold since April of 2024. Catching the leg of K-Dog, a shot below the belt, however. You know, the desperation that the Sauce has been reveling in. He knows exactly what he's gonna have to do to emerge victorious, not just here tonight against K-Dog, but on Saturday night when he has to take on both K-Dog and Kabuki. He has the least loose ends to tie up here. He has no pony to back in that race beside himself. He has no ill will between himself, K-Dog, or Kabuki, but he sure as hell has no respect for them either, courtesy of another low blow. Release German suplex from K-Dog. You gotta give credit where credit's due. These two men are two of the most resilient members of that locker room. We've seen K-Dog go the distance against Kabuki for well over 30 minutes on one separate occasion. We've seen the Sauce emerge to great heights. Back in 2024, lethal lottery match, the first ever lethal lottery match, the Sauce emerged victorious that night. It was at the previous Summer Spark where he challenged for the World Heavyweight Championship and ultimately came up short, came up empty-handed that night. Shoulder breaker, picking up K-Dog, clothesline, knocking him back down. K-Dog looking for a right hook there. The Sauce catching it. Going for a rake of the eyes here. Going for a headbutt to the groin now. If the Sauce could keep a level head, if he could keep his ego in check here, he could have a very real chance of walking away hardcore champion before the week is through here. Quick jab from K-Dog. Forearm strike. Clothesline from the Sauce. We've seen the Sauce let his hubris get the best of him in multiple occasions for many, many months here. He had prime opportunities to challenge for the Twitch Championship. It came up short. He tossed away his partnership with the formerly employed Jim Ross, throwing away the connection, throwing away any opportunity to challenge for the tag team titles. The Sauce is completely alone in his search for championship gold. One has to wonder when the Sauce eventually claims the gold in the future. Is it all going to be worthwhile to him? Who's he going to be able to celebrate that moment with? We know that K-Dog's got quite a ravenous following here in KPW as well. Priding himself on the bond that he has with these people, the Kumite faithful. Building up a strong rapport with them from the moment he stepped foot into this company. Reverse armbar from the Sauce there. Arm elbow tie up, headlock, throat thrust. K-Dog going from head to toe, systematically trying to break down the Sauce limb by limb here. A clothesline taking down K-Dog. Quick jab to the gut. Takes down the Sauce, however, taking him down to all fours. Waistlock reversal. Atomic drop towards the center of the ring here. Picking him back up. K-Dog getting his senses back. Dodging and strike to the back of the head. At least that's what the Sauce was attempting to go for. And the Sauce never claimed to be a man of chivalry. But I don't think in our wildest expectations we would have imagined him reaching this level of desperation in his career. Big strike to K-Dog, knocking him towards the corner. Single leg takedown from K-Dog, capitalizing on that same leg, looking for a leg lock. And K-Dog having to let go of the hold there. The Sauce reaching the ropes. Referee Slap Thigh Jones breaking it up there. Knee lift from K-Dog. K-Dog perched up on the second rope there. Leg drop from the second rope. Arm elbow tie up there. Big fall away slam from the Sauce. The Sauce digging deep into his repertoire now. Leaping from the top, double axe handle. K-Dog trying to get the Sauce in the clutches of that chicken wing suplex. The Sauce was able to subdue him, force him out of the ring. The Sauce joining him on the outside, but it's completely backfiring at this point. Out of 11. Both men choosing to re-enter the ring here. Sauce looking for a quick pinfall attempt, not realizing the positioning of K-Dog. Big strike. Big hook from the Sauce, taking down K-Dog. Maintaining control here. Knee lift. Senton. And now it is K-Dog that is returning the aggression right back to the Sauce. Back suplex, center of the ring. K-Dog looking for another leg lock. Blocking off the ropes here. Referee breaking it up, recognizing it as an illegal hold. Chicken wing suplex successful this time, but the Sauce is positioning, bailing him out once again here. Of course, the Sauce, a more seasoned veteran here in KPW. He's been here from day one. One of the highest profile signings at the inception of KPW. Now firmly looking to reestablish himself as a franchise player here. And if he could pick up wins here, not just tonight, but at Summer Spark in 5 nights this weekend, 9/8 Central, at the Team Adhesive Broadcasting Network, maybe he'll get the momentum he needed for all this time here. Superplex from the top. And out of the Sauce, the Rhinestone Cowboy looking for that Lukenbach elbow. Planting it. Hooking the leg here, extra leverage. And K-Dog pops the shoulder up. He is still in the fight here. He's never been afraid of a good fight here. Reverse armbar counter using the Sauce's momentum against him. That big clubbing clothesline of the Sauce. Enough to keep the momentum on his side here. Not give K-Dog any chance to breathe here. Another leg lock from K-Dog here. Another rope break call. And now it is K-Dog in the driver's seat. The Sauce playing possum there, breaking free out of the grip of K-Dog. K-Dog clutching those ribs, especially after that big suplex from the top rope. Samoan drop, center of the ring. K-Dog slowly getting back to his feet. Irish whip reversal. Back body drop. And look at how much it took out of K-Dog just to execute that. He is certainly feeling the effects, the wear and tear of this bout here. All 3 of these men, the Sauce, K-Dog, and the hardcore champion Kabuki, they're gonna be feeling and reeling from the effects of their bouts here tonight. Tomorrow morning, who knows if they're even gonna be walking into that title bout at 100%. And speaking of championship bouts, coming up next, tag team action. To determine the #1 contenders for the tag team championships, as the newly crowned champions High Velocity make their first defense this Saturday night against one of 2 teams. The First Nation, Slarty and Shuko, take on Parliament's own Papyrus Kruger Chaos Control. Another leg lock. Zoning in on the legs of the Sauce here. A great strategy courtesy of the Pitbull here, trying to buy himself as much time as he can. The Sauce, we're gonna go for a leapfrog there. K-Dog goes low, the Sauce goes high, however. And now is K-Dog going to the top rope here. Leg drop, but he didn't have all the distance covered. A costly mistake for the Pitbull. And now is K-Dog. Irish whip reversal here. The Sauce catching him. Rockabye. You could count to 1,000,000 after that. There's absolutely no way that K-Dog could pop the shoulder up after that. K-Dog was running on fumes there. He was running on whatever adrenaline he had left at that point. He went for high risk, high reward with that leg drop from the top. But he couldn't make the distance. He couldn't clear that gap. A costly mistake, one that the Sauce was able to take full advantage of here tonight. As he makes his message loud and clear to the world. He may be the dark horse going into this hardcore championship bout, but he has proven quite definitively that he has everything to gain, and all he has to do is just capitalize on the mistakes of these two heated rivals in K-Dog and the hardcore champion Kabuki. Congratulations to the Sauce on a big momentum shifting victory here tonight. And coming up next, #1 contendership up for grabs here. KPW Tag Team Contendership up at stake here, as the First Nation, Slarty, Shuko, take on Chaos Control, Kruger, Papyrus, and what is absolutely certain to be a hard-hitting bout between two of the most intense tag teams in the division. These two men, these two absolute monsters, these behemoths, have somehow been recruited, convinced into believing that the Monarch, Oliver English, represents a greater vision for KPW, a higher power, a new beginning. And what a testament to the swaying abilities of Oliver English and of course his valet Tori. How do you get into the good graces of these two absolute monsters? But sometimes you have to fight fire with fire. You need to become a monster to fight the monsters that are in front of you. And who knows more about battling monsters Then the War Machine, Slarty. Slarty now flanked by Shuko, the other half of the First Nation. These two have been paired together on a strong alliance. A tribal bond that they've put full commitment into for the past 8 months. The events of the Golden Gauntlet tournament last year brought these two closer together, and they've been chasing tag team championship gold ever since. They've been incredibly dominant in other divisions in the meantime, but tag team championship gold was their ultimate goal. Big clothesline attempt from Slarty, but he was able to reach the ropes after that armbar counter courtesy of Kruger. Scoop slam courtesy of Kruger. Sweep kick from Slarty, taking down Kruger. Think of the evasion, think of the agility that a big man like Slarty still has. The hell that he went through last month in that parking lot brawl at Mayhem. That's certainly a night that none of us will ever forget. And speaking of the challenger, Slarty's rival, we'll be hearing from him coming up next. We're of course talking about the Siberian Silver Bear Pando, as he speaks for the first time ever since Mayhem. Irish whip, Slarty sending Kruger into his tag team partner there. A bit of miscommunication between Chaos Control. But this is the kind of environment that they thrive in. This is the madness that they embrace completely and unabashedly. This is exactly according to plan for the Monarch Oliver English. Sending out these two behemoths, acting as his hired thugs, taking out guys like the First Nation. Trying to drive a rift between other tag teams like Bob and Tape. Whatever may remain of that bond, who knows for sure. Big knife edge chop from Shuko. David versus Goliath, really ineffective with this dynamic of the tag team bout. The 400+ pound Papyrus. And Shuko, damn near half his size here. And ladies and gentlemen, just in case you have missed out on the action so far, we opened here tonight with champion versus champion action, as the Twitch champion Josue was able to defeat Kabuki, the hardcore champion, in a thrilling, high-speed, high-octane, intense singles bout. And just moments ago, we saw the Rhinestone Cowboy, the Sauce, emerge victorious against one of the challengers for the Hardcore Championship this Saturday night in the Pitbull K-Dog, ahead of their triple threat bout. Heading into Summer Spark. Speaking of Summer Spark, one of these two tag teams here tonight, the First Nation, Chaos Control, one of these two men, one of these two teams, I should say, will be advancing to face High Velocity for the tag team championships. Springboard moonsault from the second rope here, courtesy of Shuko. Chaos Control. Failure is not an option. The high expectations that Oliver English demands of Chaos Control. All part of completing Oliver English's greater vision for KPW. We heard him make the call. We heard him make those statements last week on War Zone. While he was able to become the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion well over a year ago, he realized that he was not able to make that greater vision come through in full swing here. He lacked the maturity, he lacked the manpower. But now it appears that he has fixed both of those issues. He's been making hard recruitments ever since. Chaos Control, of course, being the first recruitments that he made. And now it seems that the heartthrob Popo might also be on that calling list, on that call sheet. Who else will the Monarch compromise here in KPW? You know that we've seen him make an attempt to recruit Tape last week here on Warzone, realizing the friction, the seeming abandonment from his tag team partner Bob, as he hopes to chase World Championship glory this Saturday night against Pierre Cinema in the main event of Summer Spark. Even going as far to tell Tape ahead of their main event bout here coming up later on tonight. If you're in any danger, if you need the word, if you need any sort of reinforcement, make the call. And Oliver English will be standing by, ready to send out the cavalry. Irish whip. Rolling wheel kick from the big man. All 400 pounds of Papyrus. An absolute titan of the ring here. And look at the flexibility on display of the 6'8" beast in Papyrus. Being able to reach up and choke the life out of Shuko with his foot in the corner there. Flapjack sitting reverse armbar here. Is Shuko gonna tap? And he slips his way out of the grasp of Papyrus. Kruger making the tag. Drop toe hold from Shuko. Looking for that discus punch there. Shuko wasting no time, not hesitating whatsoever, clotheslining down Kruger. Slarty with the hot tag now. Open palm strike. And now it is Slarty hard on the offense here. Big boot pushing away Kruger. Irish whip. Hip toss. First Nation have received 2 tag team championship opportunities before, challenging the Boise Boys, challenging Bob and Tape. Unsuccessful efforts. Should they emerge victorious here tonight, they have the opportunity to make the 3rd time the charm. We've seen it work before. In the case of Pierre Cinema, our World Heavyweight Champion, as he won the World Heavyweight Championship in his 3rd ever opportunity here in KPW. Count of 18 here. as both men frantically re-enter the ring here. That competition is quite certainly fierce within the tag team division. So many incredible tag teams. So much history between the likes of the Boise Boys, the Raging Bulls, the Bam Busts, the Influence, even teams like Coney Island Express. Big headbutts to the back of the head of Papyrus. Tag made to Shuko. Shoulder block, pushing Shuko through the ropes here. Big clothesline into the corner. And look at Papyrus, look at a squash Shuko like a bug here. Sandwiching him in between himself and the turnbuckles here. Reverse armbar once again here, and Shuko has no choice but to tap. Had no sight of where the ropes were, had no sight of his tag team partner here. That is well over 400 pounds of pressure on the back, on the shoulders of Shuko. As Chaos Control punches their ticket to Summer Spark. If we thought the David versus Goliath dynamic was strong here tonight, High Velocity is gonna have their hands full this Saturday night. As Chaos Control advances to Summer Spark to receive another tag team championship bout here. The hardships of the First Nation continue. Hoping, leading that one day, they could turn this championship drought around here. Congratulations to Kruger and Papyrus for advancing to the tag team championship bout in just 5 nights. But coming up next, before we get to our main event of the evening, where the world heavyweight champion Pierre Cinema engages the role model tape in a grudge bout, we'll be hearing from the Siberian Silver Bear regarding his attack on the man beast Chris Billy last week, as Roger is standing waiting to get the first words from the Siberian Silver Bear in quite some time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm standing backstage in the private locker room of one of KPW's breakout stars. I'm of course talking about the Siberian Silver Bear, Pando. What made you choose last week to make your return since Mayhem? And why did you choose to lay your hands on Chris Billy?
Roger, isn't it clear why I put my hands on Chris Billy? Pando is hungry. Pando always craves competition. Pando seeks out the next big challenge, and few things in this company are bigger than a 500-plus pound man beast. Pando has no respect for Robbie Deuce and no reservations for Ding. The fact of the matter is that Chris Billy stuck his nose in business that he already resolved, and Pando was simply there to remind him of his place. Pando's stepping stone towards the World Heavyweight Championship. So maybe Pando will remind you of what should hold priority in your head. This Saturday night, Pando wants you in the ring. The Bear versus the Beast.
There has been much speculation about your well-being since the events of that hellacious parking lot brawl. People are in absolute disbelief that you were able to walk out on your own 2 feet after that moonsault from the tractor trailer. With your Summer Spark Challenge ahead of you, do you believe you're walking into Saturday night at any disadvantage?
Disadvantage? Why is that? Is he gonna get on a bike and race me? Pando is the strongest man across all of KPW. Pando's biceps are as thick as your skull, Roger. Legs or not, Pando's craving will only be met when Pando pins Chris Billy's shoulders to the mat. Your problem is that you view me as a run-of-the-mill athlete. Haven't I proven to you that Pando is one of one? You won't find another man of my acumen anywhere else. And this Saturday night, Pando proves to the world that Pando will step forward and through any challenger. Who else can you say the same for?
And there you have it. Reinforce the ring for Saturday night, Summer Spark. Pando takes on Chris Billy at the biggest show of the summer. But that's enough time for talk. It's time for the main event.
A strong challenge. Strong affirmations made by Pando. Having no ties to Dang nor Robbie Deuce. Clearly on the hunt for a beast of mythical proportions. The Bear versus the Beast this Saturday night, confirmed for Summer Spark. Pando versus Chris Billy. And Pierre Cinema wasting no time marching down to the ring. Looking to settle the score with Tape once and for all here. Tape spreading a lot of libel about Pierre Cinema, claiming that he poisoned his tag team partner against him, took his priorities off the tag team championship gold over the course of the past month. And now Tape is left with nothing. Tape already made reservations in the past, saying that Bob did not deserve the opportunity that Pierre Cinema was willing to hand out to him as part of his first defense here, coming up in just 5 nights. And that strong choice of words from our world heavyweight champion was enough to get into the head of Bob. Get him to think just how badly he desires world heavyweight championship gold. They reminded him of his position here in KPW. It reminded him of who was truly in the driver's seat between him and Tape here. And for all the time that they put down as tag team champions, Tape felt like he was the one that truly deserved a world title shot. And Pierre passed him over. This is Tape's chance here tonight to prove the world champion wrong. To prove to him that he is just more of a formidable foe than initially thought here. Tape in control here in the opening minutes, though. You're looking to go for a moonsault from the top here, and Tape stepping out of the harm's way. Driving the boots into the back of Pierre Cinema. Arm breaker from Tape. Drop kick from the world heavyweight champion, sending Tape through the ropes, ramming his head to the ring post to the outside as Pierre takes in the adoration of the Kumite Faithful here in the Forum tonight. It has been recently revealed Courtesy of the board of directors.
11.
The KPW has reached an expanded broadcasting deal with the Team Adhesive Broadcasting Network. Extra budgeting, extra funding. Courtesy of the connections that Pierre Cinema was able to make within his previous filming industries. And we'll be expecting to see those increased budgeting and production go into full swing, into full effect in the very near future. Speaking of the near future, as the board of directors is revealing to us, breaking news here. Next week on War Zone, we have some matches to announce here as the Twitch champion. Whether or not he will walk away with the Twitch championship on Saturday night is a whole nother story, but Josue will be in singles competition against the Blue Chipper, the 2025 Lethal Lottery winner. Certainly a man that Pierre Cinema will be looking out for now that he holds the gold. The Blue Chipper, Bam Dardino, competes against Josue next week. Also to come, the Heartthrob versus the Scrapyard Saint Solo. With more to be announced in the days to come, in the days to follow. Out of 11 here. Running kitchen sink on the outside here. Pierre Cinema getting out of the clutches of tape here. Returning to the ring. As these two look to keep going at it. As these two look to get it on in the main event of Warzone here tonight. Running leg lariat from the world champion. Big drop kick. Tape stumbling back into the corner. Gave him just enough standing to keep on his 2 feet there to regain control of himself there. Moonsault from the top rope, courtesy of Pierre Cinema. Leaping up there like a big mountain lion. Reaching to the top rope, moonsault right down the tape. Cat-like reflexes of Pierre Cinema. Starstruck, courtesy of Pierre Cinema. That signature DDT here. The tape hasn't nearly gone through enough damage, hasn't gone through enough wherewithal. To get put down so easily here tonight. Another pop-up moonsault from Pierre Cinema. Pierre's gonna have to dig deep into those bag of tricks. Double knees into the back of tape there. Here, all the cards are in his favor here. He's dealing the handout pretty strong to tape here. A 2 count kick out from tape after that hellacious brainbuster. And surely all this has to come to the advantage of the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. We are, of course, talking about the Misfit Bob. Bob seemingly severing his ties with his former tag team partner Tape over the course of the past several weeks. Burning every bridge between them. And now whatever frustrations Tape is going to take out on the World Heavyweight Champion only works to benefit him this Saturday night. Running calf kick, taking down Tape. Tape bouncing off the ropes into the barricade here. Handspring moonsault over the top rope and down to the floor here. And Pierre Cinema taking the time to celebrate for the Kumite faithful.
11, 12, 13.
Tape looking for a pile driver on the outside. Pierre Cinema lifts him up, overpowers him. And now it is Tape going back first on the floor. Down to 17. Pierre Cinema going up top once again here, looking for another moonsault. And it appears that Pierre Cinema has made aerial offense a strong priority going into this bout here with Tape, looking to fight fire with fire. Pierre Cinema superplex from the top here. This has been one gamble after the next for the World Heavyweight Champion. Neck breaker from Pierre Cinema. Lateral press, cover. And Tape gets the shoulder up. Keeps the fight intact. Goes below the bell here. Having no reservations, no love lost for Pierre Cinema. He believes very thoroughly, solid brain buster from Tape. He believes very thoroughly that Pierre Cinema has stripped him of everything that mattered to him here in KPW, his tag team partnership, championship gold. Also, Bob could chase this illusion of glory. He already had the glory. He already had a good thing going. And he let the greed of the misfit take control here, heading into Summer Spark. Roundhouse kick taking down Pierre Cinema. Big boot into the corner here. Pierre Cinema trying to waste the energy at Tape here as he's all fired up, filled with adrenaline here. Tape signaling with a prescription bottle on the outside here. That patented Gonzo bomb here. Springboard lion salt from the second rope down to the floor now. Irish whip into the guardrail. Speaking of bottling, Tape realizing that he needs to bottle up that energy for when he could keep his clutches on the World Heavyweight Champion, Pierre Cinema. We know that Tape has a lifeline on standby, courtesy of Parliament, courtesy of Oliver English. A favor from one old rival to another. Tape looking for a moonsault, connecting with the world champion. Pierre Cinema, forearm smash, wasting no time here. Shooting star from the top, digging in deep for that aerial offense there. Absolutely breathtaking. Pierre Cinema pulling all the stops. And I am at an absolute loss for words here. And Tape, realizing that Pierre Cinema got the better of him, he's not finished here. He's not gonna leave this unresolved here. Taking his frustrations out on the world heavyweight champion. Referees called for security to get down here. Pierre Cinema was able to keep Tape's shoulders pinned down to the mat long enough here. He is angry, he is frustrated. Tape letting the emotions get the better of him here tonight. Dragon screw as Pierre is continuously warding off Tape here. Tape making the hard retreat, but waiting for him on the outside is the misfit, the #1 contender, Bob. Bob putting his hands on his former tag team partner, drilling him with a power bomb on the floor here. And we've seen how much destruction, how much damage Bob has been able to do with those successive power bombs here. Last caress, choke slam on the floor here. And that is lights out for Tape. Bob re-entering the ring here, setting his sights on the world heavyweight champion now, who is just finally getting his composure back, getting a clear head of what the hell just went down here. These two aren't waiting for Saturday night. These two are getting ready to get it on here. 5 nights early. Snap power bomb from Bob. And this is what has made him such a lethal force of nature here. Pierre Cinema able to get that Hurricanrana counter in that time. And the history between these two dates back to Ignition, all the way back in January when they were vying for the Twitch Championship. That was a night that Bob does not want to forget. That is a night that Bob lost his grip on the Twitch Championship. Pierre was able to walk away that night the champion, but for Bob it is absolutely imperative here that he does not let the same thing happen at Summer Spark this Saturday night. He is making absolutely sure that history does not repeat itself. How badly does Bob want the gold here as he slams Pierre Cinema into the mat here? He's not finished a second. Last caress here as he stands over the lifeless body of the world heavyweight champion, reaching over to grab the world heavyweight championship, ripping it out of the arms of the timekeeper here. Marches his way up to the ramp here with the gold that he's been clamoring for all month here as he raises it up high. Pierre Cinema might have awakened a beast here tonight. Pierre Cinema in a complete daze here. He has to be wondering, what the hell did I just get myself into? What the hell am I signing up for in 5 nights at Summer Spark? I have been Tapey Styles, the only man that can call the action right down the middle, flying solo as always. As we have run out of time, we'll be seeing you this Saturday night for our next monthly special event, Summer Spark. Good night, everybody.